wants more? Who wants freedom? And after getting freedom, who enjoys the freedom? If you see that, the real I is always free. So that question, another thing, it doesn't think at all. It doesn't want anything because it is full, totally fulfilled situation. Whereas the which one we wants mind is, we can call it ego or the ahankara. There is a feeling that it is not free. It is so it requires freedom. The bandha is there. Whereas so after getting the freedom, who enjoys the freedom? Again, it is that, see, till the body falls, the mind is always there, the ahankara is always there. Only thing that ego becomes enlightened ego. It understands. If something happens, it understands. So that only enjoys the freedom after the realization, after understanding. This point we have to clearly see. So otherwise, not. So the freedom is here only. That is while living in this world. So in this, from this 13th to 19th, that we call it not Jivan Mukta. That's why it's called Jivan Mukta. Jiva is not generally Mukta. Once he has got that freedom, how his Lakshana, how it is going to be. It is like that. That's what Krishna explains here. So freedom from hatred, that is the first, this one. And we have seen it's what happens when we are really free. How? So to the enjoyer is also same, that mind or the ahankara or the ego. It knows what is what. So it is not perturbed by small happenings when we are interacting with the world. That itself is a great freedom. Say some news comes out, or especially you can see when you are opening the paper and then trying to, that itself is a sadhana. Oh, I see why this has happened, that election, this, so many things. This fellow is like that, and this is, so these things really seems to affect us. No, you are worried or you are perturbed for some time. Really, it is not happening. One has to watch this. So the reading paper and hearing news and even when interacting, if this is the, as a sadhaka we practice, we clearly see that all these things, they don't affect me at all. So that is a thing which is a real sadhana all the time. We don't have to sit and then meditate. Meditating is required in the initial stages. What happens when thoughts are not there at all? To see that, that particular, we call na samadhi, total, so time without any thoughts or some time, that it's some sort of an experiment where we can understand the real I is what, that the self is what. So after understanding, see that the knowledge, that jnanam is always required. Otherwise, we won't know what has happened and what is going to happen. That's why initially we have a sort of personal God. Yeah. And then you can say even some family deity and all this thing, a particular deity with form. And once you understand, as we saw in chapter 11, whatever you see, the universe is with, we call, what is that, Vishwarupa Darshanam. All the time we are saying only that. So that understanding, that itself takes quite some time if we do sadhana regularly with understanding and with the satsang and all these things. All these, when we are attending and then thinking about that, so slowly we understand. We do, but we have to practice this, and especially after what is that that's why that 4 stages are given after retirement. It is a must. You can call it vanaprastha or sannyasa, both. What the importance is only for this sadhana. So it is at least a lot of time we have to allot for this. Then slowly, once we are in the groove, it's all the time it is there. We don't want to make any special attempt and then trying to be, uh, doing. That means real sadhana. If we do everything, whatever we do, it becomes a sadhana. So any this thing, whether you are writing something or preparing a project, everything becomes that. So this one has to practice. Then that freedom automatically we feel that freedom inside. So this is what we saw in the 13th. It continues in the 14th also. Santushta satatam yogi yatatma drida nishchaya mayyatpida mano buddhihi yo madbhakta same priya. Santushta satatam yogi yatatma drida nishchaya mayyatpida mano buddhihi yo madbhakta same priya. Okay, so this it continues. Krishna says, my devotees, whose mind and intellect are fixed upon me, and who is ever contented. This is also very important word. Tranquil, self-restrained, and with clear knowledge is dear to me. He comes nearer. Dear means that only. So all those things which were bothering me, no more. So that sort of, all these things which he has listed, they are not there at all for me because of my sadhana and understanding. So the it's first, especially when we do mananam and nididhyasanam, they go together. So we feel that it is, so earlier, suppose there is a program in TV or outside, or sort of a exhibition or some sale, we used to, okay, let's go. Or some people who are interested in film, first day, let us see. We know that at the younger age, things were like this. Now they don't touch us as all. That itself, it's a freedom for us. Even TV program, or if there is depending on the person, match or some talk or any of these things, we give top priority for that. Even stopping other activities. So we go there. Now, actually, after practicing this, they don't attract us. That has stopped. இதுவே ஒரு ஐ ஃபீல் தட் ஃப்ரீடம் டோட்டலி. அப்பா இது முந்தி மாதிரி இல்லை அப்படின்னு we understand. So this is the first thing is, so you become the santushta. இது very important word. See, santushta, to whom it comes, who has totally, he discovered the fullness in him. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Uddhava, I think, he asked Krishna, the question I forgot. Anyway, I'll translate it in English and then tell. Which is the greatest property? Selvam. Which is, Krishna says, it is santushtaha. Santushta. That means total satisfaction. The person who doesn't need anything, who is totally fulfilled. So he doesn't read. So that itself, that is a great this one. He has the feeling that he doesn't lack anything in his life, psychologically or intellectually, or emotion wise also. All the time that satisfaction is always there. This is called inner purnatvam, and it's also called that santushta or santosha. The person who has got is actually he comes so close to me. That's why that even that sthita prajna, when we call, there is a sloham. प्रजहाति यथा कामान् सर्वान् पार्थमनोगतान् आत्मन्येवात्मना तुष्टः. That means what? That Atma is remaining. That you can say even mind. It is resting in the mind itself. That we call samadhi. So that for Sthita Prajna, this is the Lakshana. The Atma, it is fulfilled. That means it doesn't uh, hang for anything. That means it's free from totally longing. Last class we discussed the happy or normally the santushta, fulfilled person. Or normally for us, when there is no other desire, we are with ourselves. That's why once the desire is fulfilled, we saw that. That means our this thing that desire brings us down. Once it is fulfilled, we go back to the original state. That this we call as santosham or happiness or I enjoyed and all. Actually, when you go, you can be there and then do whatever you want without bringing you down. So that's what the fulfilled person, the Siddha Prajna, he does whatever comes to him without any, hesitation, and he doesn't even bother about results. So that's why it is. So all the time, the mind is what that functional expression of the uh, uh, Atma. So which is always in Atma itself. That means always totally satisfied. This is the condition which gives us total freedom. So the yoga itself, it means uh, union, means of union. With the help of that union, Jivatma gets united with Paramatma, that we call as union. So we call these people as yogi or jnani. For jnani, activities, whatever they do, but we have seen many of these our people, or even if we take those Krishna, they have been acting. They were not sitting quiet. Krishna was in the war field itself. So the activities are not bothered. It's not a struggle, and so that's why it is all this Leela means Krishna Leela means it's a sport for them, and for Ajnani, that means the ignorant persons, it is called a struggle. They have to struggle for anything, whether it's a small job or big. That's why the santushta, before that there is a word satatam santushta. That is all the time fully satisfied. How it is possible? Is it ever possible? Is it practicable? Can we practice and can we attain it? It is only understanding it clearly. We have seen some time back what is this this 5 Vedantic capsules. Many times we have seen, and again let's think about it once more. I am of the nature of pure and pure consciousness. Therefore, I am the only source of peace, happiness, and security. These 3 words are very important. We don't have to work for it. Peace, happiness, and security. In my presence, the world appears. And whatever is happening in the world or in the body, they don't affect me at all. This is the 3rd capsule. If I remember this means after understanding this, the life or activities or interaction, they are enjoyment all the time. It is not a burden at all. Whereas if I forget this, any action or interaction with the world and everything, most of them are burden to me. So life is a burden. So when it is so bad, the people may think, oh, I should not have more, the birth like that. So the samsara, if you feel Oh, it is. That's why many quotations, it's like that only. Oh, so I have to come out of this samsara and all. Once you understood clearly whether, see, even once it liberated, you becomes that which is there everywhere, Brahman. It is there whether in all, the beings and the world also it is there, but it is unaffected. That is the difference between, we say, God and the individual. Individual means who was not understood. So it depends on uh, the situation or uh, which body he has. You know, uh, see, some people they are good, some people bad, some people are rich and all. Everything the inside the Atma is same, but in God, which is the total mind and occupying the entire universe, it is unaffected because God means it's always realized. The man, it is there in the Upadesaram. The there is the Ubhadi they call. Depending on the Ubhadi, the difference is more. Sometimes it is, oh, you feel that you are awful, and whereas the uh, that is the Ubhadi, it in fact that becomes major issue. Oh, I am like I am rich, I am poor, and all this thing. Whereas the God, which is always free, the Lord, it is unaffected whether world is like this or like this and everything. It doesn't whether nuclear war and all these things, because it is clear that these are all only illusion. I am not that. So this understanding that totally, for that it is always like that. For people, individual, after understanding, the freedom takes place. So for jnani activities are all, it's a leela. For normal people, we call it's a struggle. Everything is a struggle. Uh, See, next word is yatatma, means self-discipline. See, now here the atma means the body, sense organs, and the mind, anthakarana. All these put together here in this case is, in this context, it is taken as atma, but not certainly the Sachidananda Atma. Body-mind complex is called Atma here. And Yatatma means an integrated person who has understood all these things. So self-disciplined person. This also, see, there is no confusion. When we say integrated person, there is no confusion. Clarity is there. This next word is Dridhan Nishchaya. That is a knowledge which is God with total conviction. It is very important. Otherwise, we may understand and put it somewhere there, but we are not 100% convinced about that. We have doubts. So when you say Dridha, means he is sure, Nishchaya. So knowledge without any, with total conviction is Dridha Nishchaya. This is also another important aspect of the. So all these people put together, they are uh, May Priya, that's what it ends, that is 13th and 14th. Now, the 15th. Yasmano dvijate loko, lokanno dvijate chaya, harsha bhayodvegaihi, mukto yassa me priya. Yasmano dvijate loko, lokanno dvijate chaya, harsha bhayodvegaihi, mukto yassa me priya. This also a different type of the words. The person It is one of these, you can say, sadhakas or seer or seeker, whom the world, because that is, the world is not disturbed by him. That is, by him, by whom the world is not disturbed. And he is not disturbed by the world. The world is not disturbed by he means what? His activities, his reactions and all. And the he doesn't disturb the world also because of his presence is not felt at all. It's so he's so what even though he's acting, his reactions and everything is so nice. So the world is not disturbed. World means other people, and who is free from elation, envy, fear, and anxiety is dear to me. That long word, Harsha Mashva Yog Bekeki Mukto, or all together he has put that Mukta, who is free from all those four aspects. So this particular person, this Jnani or the seer, Krishna tell, is like a flower when he handles others. They are so happy to be with him, discuss with him, and uh, do any job with him. And they are always happy. They are not. And he is like a rock when he receives experience from the world. That's what we told. He is not affected. So there, his mind is like a rock. When he is doing or others, it is like a flower. So as a doer, as a karta, he is like a flower. And as a bhokta, as an enjoyer, he is like a rock. It doesn't affect whether it is good or bad. And this also many times we have seen earlier, whether the result is favorable, unfavorable, or neutral. So it shouldn't be any difference to me because my job is to do the result, whatever it comes, it is its effect is not felt by the mind. Mm. So this next to that long word, Harsha Bhayodvegaihi Muktaha. Mukta means which is again free. It is all together he has put at the end. He is liberated, released. So Jnani is always a Mukta. So free from what? Here free means what? Free from what? Free from the family or place and other things? No, here what is talked about is inner freedom. Inner freedom is what? Again, there are so many aspects. Here he puts in four, words: Harsha, Amasha, Bhaya, Udvega. These are the four actually very terrible things which can make the mind almost a sort of a burden. And the first one is, if you say, it is Harsha. Harsha means excitement. Excitement also, even though it is appears to be positive, it can also create problems. Then the next one is Amarsha. Amarsha is intolerance, jealousy, that sort of thing. Then the third thing come, which is Bhaya, fear. See, when we say fear, see, earlier too, at least to some extent, it is not, we don't feel so frequently and it doesn't affect us to such extent. Harsha, that is excitement, or Amarsha, which is intolerance, jealousy. See, jealousy and all for very few people, once in a while, it may be there. It's not, we don't feel so frequently. We don't feel it has to be removed. And what so, it doesn't bother us. Whereas if you take fear, normally we feel, oh, I am fearless. I can go anywhere in the dark, here, alone, so many places and all. Actually, it is not talk. They don't mean this fear in any other form. It will be there, but we don't know when the occasion comes or the situation arises. You may feel that there is a in Vairagya Sadam, or the Bhartrahari. So he gives a small verse. It's called. It's very nice. Actually, one can clearly understand. Also, it's not very complicated. Bhoge rogabhayam kule chutibhayam vitte nirpaladbhayam mane dhainyabhayam bhale rupubhayam रूपे जराया भयम शास्त्रे वादिभयम गुणे खलभयम काये कृतान्ताद् भयम सर्वं वस्तु भयान्वितं भुवि नृणां वैराग्यमेव भयम्. So it's very interesting. So when we see we know some of these things it applies to us. For example, bhoge roga bhayam. When we, for example, go for a feast and then eat, normally which you are not supposed to eat, and either sweet or any other hot stuff or spicy stuff. But because on the you didn't, you liked, so you finish up. But inside, I don't know what will happen tomorrow or night. There may be some problem because of this. My blood sugar may go up or my pressure may go up and all these things. That fear will be there inside after eating. So, bhoge rogabhayam. Then, kule chutibhayam. The kule means the kulam. That means you may be born in a very famous family. So because of us, it shouldn't that my family name it shouldn't come down. That means I shouldn't spoil. So that sort of fear will be there. For, especially when you go out or when you are finishing your studies, when you go to college or other universities alone. So this feeling will be always there. Our parents as well as the person, the boy. Oh, we should try to keep it. So then next is vitte nirmalad bhayam. When we earn so much of money or property, whatever it is, moving or non-moving properties, there'll be a fear. Oh, income tax follows. Next time, I don't know how. If they come, say, if they come to know about this, now there are so many ways to find how you transacted this particular amount, how you bought and all. So this fear will be there. Oh, so they would like to be careful. So that is there. That means the fear. What is said here? It is. There are so many types of fear. Some of them which we are certainly likely to have. So vitte nirpalad bhayam, mane dainya bhayam. See, when you have a good name or when you become famous, you have name and all. So it should not be spoiled. Then bhale ripu bhayam. So when you are so strong, when you have big family or office with so many people or very intelligent people, there will be a fear. What happened to the other company where there are similar people which are also efficient? So the ripu bayam, that ripu actually means ediri. So that sort of thing, as my competitor. So that bhayam will be there. Then rupe. See, you normally up to maybe 45 years, your this thing will be so nice. Your personality, they call look and face, height, or this thing may be going to do all sort of this thing, exercise and everything daily. So, but whatever you do after some time, we see, many places many times when we were young, there are famous wrestlers. If you see their photograph now, in fact, you can't even recognize. So this sort of thing, even actors with excellent figure and face and all. But after some, we see nowadays in Facebook many such photographs where you can't even recognize. Oh, you see, oh, ivra then solo. So that sort of thing. So that fear will be there for everybody. So Rupe Jaraya Bhayam. Because of the age, it may get spoiled. Then Sastre Vadi Bhayam. You may be very good in your science or whatever be the subject or medical or anything. There may be other people who are uh, doing similar field, but their opinions are totally different. Some people say coffee is you shouldn't take it is bad. Some people other side they also do some research, maybe some sort of sponsored research, and they say coffee has got so many. Recently, I also read there are some 12 or 13 points which for which coffee is necessary. That sort of thing. Similarly, salt and so many things. Even drinks, some people correct time if you take correct you know uh, amount, it is good for heart and all. So it is there. So the person who is that who is that Shastre Vadipam, we won't be able to even argue with them. So they are rather worried or they have fear about the people who are going to talk against. Then Gune Kalabayam. So even our Guna. So that is also can go down. Kaye Kritantat Bayam. Kaye is that Vadamba, body. One day it has to go. So that especially for people like us, that it will be there in some corner. Especially some other person dies and we saw some people if this knowledge is not strong, there will be such fear. Oh, I say, probably tomorrow it can happen to me and all. So that sort of fear is also there. So all this sarvam vastu bayan vitam bhavinirnam vairagyameva bayam. This vairagyam is the only thing which keeps you away from fear. The vairagyam here means what? Freedom from longing. That is a thing, that vairagyam is, everywhere it is one of the first few requirements, viveka, vairagya. So that alone can save you from this sort of fear. Then, I just take one more minute. Last one is udvega, means mental disturbance, sorrow, anxiety and all. Because of the earlier mentioned thing, that will be there always, that some sort of disturbance in the mind. So this uh, spiritual travel, if you take, it is gradual from world dependence to God dependence. After understanding world dependence to God dependence, then to self dependence. After clear understanding, it is self. So first we learn to switch from world dependence from the world to God, which is a much better and safer dependence. And thereafter, I discover that Lord is myself. Am Brahmasmi. And once I discover the Lord in myself, God dependence will become equal to self dependence. And self dependence is independence. So, therefore, Mukta, that person is this sort of person who is totally independent, is near, dear to me. That's what the particular sloga ends. So, we go very near to that particular state. So near Atma or self. So it's what Krishna says in these three, and which appears to be uh, practicable. It's not something, oh, it is impossible to be like that. And we have to practice. As I told, first the phone call, or whenever we see people, it's, oh, let's bore it through. This sort of opinion, to drop that without image, even if we practice for a few days or at least a day, that freedom can be felt. Absolutely. Otherwise, unnecessary this thing. Finally, when we affect it, we are only affected, not the other person. So we have all those things. Be free. Be free means that only. whether it is phone call or somebody knocks at the door. When you see him as if you are seeing for the first time. This is a sort of exercise we have to try and remember. Remembering is very important. Here, this is convincing. Nobody can talk anything against this. But you have to remember. As I told that 5 Vedanta capsule, at least 3 times a day, like capsule you have to take. So actually, I am the only source of all these things. So I don't need to search anywhere. I am all the time happy and secured. So, and peaceful. So this has to be practiced. If it is understood clearly, the life is really enjoyable. So this has to be, this itself is a practice. To remember itself is practice. Probably we can tie something so that we remember. Otherwise, to bring in a particular state to this thing is not easy. So we have to practice. So let's end here. It's almost